Here in these problems, we are asked to find for the value of x. But before we can find for the value of x, we need to recall about angle pairs like vertical angles, complementary angles, linear pairs, supplementary angles. So we're going to recall them while answering each item. So in number 1, the angle here are what we call vertical angles. Now, vertical angles are formed when two lines intersect each other at a point. Okay? So the two angles that are opposite to each other are called vertical angles. So if this is the angle, the opposite for that is this one. So these two also are vertical angles. And what do we know about vertical angles? Vertical angles are congruent, which means they have the same measurement. So therefore, x is also equal to 88 degrees. Here in number 2, this is a symbol for 90 degrees angle. It means the sum of these two angles is equal to 90 degrees. And they are what we call complementary angles. Okay? So now, let's say measure of angle A, if you have two angles, A and B, measure of angle A plus measure of angle B is equal to 90 degrees. This would be the pattern there. So measure of angle A, let's say A that is x, plus this one is 15, so that is 90 degrees. Now we need to solve for x. We need to subtract 15 on both sides of the equation. This would be equal to 0. So x now is equal to 90 minus 15, 75 degrees. So this is 75 degrees. 75 plus 15 is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, in number 3, they are supplementary angles. Actually, x and 45 also are linear pair of angles. When we say supplementary angles, a straight line is 180, right? Which means the sum of the measures of these two angles is equal to 180 degrees. So we can say that they are supplementary angles. Okay? Now, so let's say we have two angles again, A and B, which means that the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees. So if A is x and B is 45, 100 is equal to 180. So we need to subtract 45 on both sides of the equation. So solve for x. So 180 minus 45, that is 135 degrees. So x now is 135 degrees. So 135 plus 45 is 180. Now, in number 4, here, we have two intersecting lines here. So they are these two angles, this one and this one, are linear pair of angles. They are formed by two intersecting lines and they are adjacent to each other. The sum of angles of a linear pair is always equal to 180 degrees, which means a linear pairs will always be supplementary. So it means we can also get the sum of this and equate to 180. So let's say linear pair. So we have, or at the same time, they are also supplementary. So measure of angle A, if we have two angles A and B, plus measure of angle B is equal to 180. So let's have, the first angle is 15 degrees, plus the second angle is 2x, plus 3 is equal to 180. So we can solve now for x. We can add 15 plus 3, that is equal to 18. So we have 2x plus 18 is equal to 180 degrees. Subtract 18 on both sides. So let's put it here. That is 0. So 2x is equal to 180 minus 18. That is equal to 162. Divided by 2, x now is equal to 81 degrees. So now, we are just asked to find for the value of x. So x is 81. But if you want to know what is the measure of this angle, you can substitute the value of x. So 2 times 81 plus 3. So 162 plus 3 is equal to 165. So 165 plus 15, that is equal to 180. Okay, sometimes you can put also like that there, degrees. That's all for this video, and thank you for watching.